What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out associated to the company, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 3.1%. Market's been open about 1 hour and a half, give or take. 11.06 million shares have been traded. 88.6 is the average. So another day that institutions aren't really getting into SoundHound as much as I'm sure a lot of people would really like. So far, there's only been 2 transactions above $100,000 on the secondary market. Unfortunately, both of those have been sells, and you can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. And just beside the point, even if you look over the last several trading days, just big money isn't really getting into SoundHound. As I've said in the past, institutions are waiting for something from the company itself. And I think right now it's just kind of stuck in limbo, or whether it be something on a larger scale. So CPI is coming out tomorrow, so that might be a, I guess, determining factor for SoundHound to go up. But for momentum plays, you need capital to get in, and right now nothing's really happening. When it comes to recent news, last one was on March the 25th, so it has been relatively quiet. So like I said, I think a lot of people, even retail investors, are waiting for just something from the company itself. But there was a new SEC filing that was submitted after hours yesterday, so an S-8. I feel like a lot of people are very confused by that and saying that this is new dilution. I just wanted to break this down. So ultimately, they are registering 18.8 million shares. So this is one of those things, it's like glass half full kind of scenarios. So yes, it is dilution. It's not new dilution. So they're just registering shares associated to the 2022 equity incentive plan. So all in all, I don't see this as a crazy big deal, especially when it comes down to momentum plays. Like, all it'll take is a good piece of news and this will just blow up crazy high. But right now, people are just, I feel like they don't understand this, so they're seeing this as a somewhat negative. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from all that, shorts are increasing a small amount, so 52,000 shares, 16.9% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization is 99.15%, and then short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 76.72. And then cost to borrow has gone down over the last several trading days, and it is at 19.29%. As far as any recent analyst ratings, there hasn't been anything. So last one was done about 14 days ago, a buy rating, $7 price target, and that was Glenn, who has a 50% success rating. So no doubtably, a lot of people are just waiting for their upcoming earnings just to see like kind of a benchmark, right? How much do they have in cash? What is their future guidance? Like, what is happening behind the scenes? I think a lot of people are really curious about that. And as of late, there hasn't really been all that much for changes. So still 6 analysts with a consensus of -9 cents for their earnings per share. And then for revenue, it looks like still 6 analysts with a consensus of 10.1 million. And there hasn't been any changes over this last little bit. So that's kind of a good thing, maybe. I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt, of course. But options. So $451,000 in calls being purchased versus 148 in puts. Sentiment wise, somewhat evenly divided, but 39% of all the options being done today are optimistic. Of course, some of that could be correlated with shorts hedging. And then of the call options that are being purchased, you do see consensus for it to be above $5 versus the puts, more so sub about $5. So clearly $5 is a very strong pivot point, because as I've indicated in the past, you really need to watch this, and it is flirting with it right now. So 488, if it does close below that today, of course CPI could change the dynamic of everything, but ultimately based on the technicals, if it does close below this S1, then you can anticipate it for it to trend between this 358, so that's the S2, and 488. So you'll really want to watch for it to hopefully regain some strength. It is fighting back right now, as you can kind of see, so hopefully it does fight back enough where it does get back into this range. Right now, like I said in the last couple of videos, I do not see it getting to this pivot point by itself, just based off the technicals. It will need something either from the broader markets or company specific news for it to push higher. So right now it's kind of just stuck in limbo, and I think people are just seeing a lot of negative things, such as this S-8 that just came out, and maybe just, I don't know. It's very unfortunate because SoundHound did have a lot of good opportunity. It could have easily broken out because, like I've said, it is a kind of a hybrid stock. So it has a AI component, squeeze aspect, and a momentum play. And for the longest time, it did have institutionals' attention. Pretty big attention, mind you. So I think all in all, it still does have some opportunity. Just right now, without any news, it will continue to trend down. So let me know your thoughts on that. On the actual chart though, it did recently transition from the higher to the lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, but currently it is flirting with that 50-day moving average, which again is that pivot point right now that I mentioned. So 488. And then aside from that, if it does break below that, then most likely it'll just be wedge bound between that 50 and 100-day moving average. Looking at stochastic, it is at roughly 8. So that is extremely oversold. So if there's a good piece of news that does come out associated to, again, the company itself or the broader market, you could see a rush of value investors, or just, I guess, volume in general. But right now, number of retail investors have been getting out because there hasn't been any real reason to buy SoundHound other than just speculation and rumors. So I think right now SoundHound is still vaguely on a lot of people's radar, but they need something. They need something of substance because there's a lot of companies right now putting out some pretty good kick-ass pieces of news. So obviously people and institutions would rather just kind of move their money into that. Or aside from that, just crypto. So crypto has been running quite a lot and fairly well, in fact. So it's just a lot of rotation of capital. So SoundHound does need to keep up the momentum and put out some good news. So that's just my own opinion, not financial advisor. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? I know in my comments there's quite a lot of individuals that are diehard fans. And would you, like, what are you looking for instance, in their next upcoming earnings? If there's something specific that you're really wanting to see, or what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it. They do give you 7 fractional shares of the Meg7, so a $35 total value. So in reality, that is a very good return on investment for just throwing $100 at a new account. So take advantage of this, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.